Now turn up.
What up is Marcus from Dynasty Football Dads. We're talking about the future. A long ways in the future. We're talking about 2023 draft picks. Why are we talking about these? Why in the world would anybody talk about these? Well, for good reasons, there's a lot of hype for the 2023 class, saying it is as good or close to might be as good as the 2020 class. And so a couple different notes that I have a perspective on how to handle the 2023 draft picks, how to handle the 2022 draft picks. There's a couple different strategies. And so my biggest thing is because a lot of people are like, just get rid of your 2022 draft picks, but keep your 2023 draft picks because they're so important. And I think that could be a interesting strategy, but a maybe fool's gold strategy. We talked about the 2019 draft and 2020 draft, how 2020 draft kind of changed everything, changed a lot of things. The hype was unreal. But one of the big things is if you told me you get a 2022 draft pick or a 2023 draft pick, in a rebuild, a lot of times I am taking the 2022 draft pick. And there's a big key number here, and the number is 12. You have 12 months to sit on an asset that is probably not going to gain a ton of value. You have what we call, what was that? How many months do we have until the 2023 start of the season? So we have 12, 24, do we have 30 months? No, maybe not 30 months. Maybe we have 26 months? I'm trying to do math in my head. Before the 2023 season even starts. I am not a big component of let's do rebuilds 3, 4, 5 years down the road. I want to win now. I'm trying to figure out how do I take my rebuild and in 18 months be a good team. And if that means I have to get rid of my 2023 draft pick, then I will do that. 2020, I feel like when you get to close to the 2022 draft, there's going to be hype. There's going to be times where you're going to be able to take that 2022 first and move it into a 2023 first if you feel like, you know what, it's still another year out. I understand that there is going to be some awesome players in the 2023 draft, but I am worried more about the next 12 to 18 months in a majority of teams compared to 2+ years down the road. And that is my biggest concern that I am starting to hear. So I'll continue on, but if you're new to the channel, we have a Jerry Jeudy signed jersey. It is, his collegiate jersey. If we hit 1,000 subscribers, we'll be giving it away to one of you guys. Which will be soon. I think it'll probably be in a month here. And again, if you want to be a part of one of our Dynasty Dad leagues, first come, first serve. We might only do one this year. And so that'll be on Patreon as well. And we'll be doing some giveaways through there. So 2022 draft, we see that the depth maybe in running backs are pretty much too strong, right? 2 people at this point. The 2022 draft, I feel like, will start to slowly build its, I guess you could say it's what people start having an affinity towards. People are going to start talking about, the 2022 draft. And so that's why I think these picks are going to be much more valuable right now, these 2022 picks, than 2023. If you're playing the game 26 months out in the future, you're going to miss the now. And I am trading, especially in contenders. I've had contenders say, hey, do I do this? Do I do that? If I'm a contender, I'm not really worrying about the 2021, 2022, 2023 classes necessarily. I'm worried about how can I make those trades to win a championship now and in 2022. And then when 2023 comes around, do I tear it apart? Do I start selling assets? There's a lot of different strategies, but I am worried about focusing building now. And that is such an important thing that we constantly, there's teams I see every year in Dynasty. They trade all their really good kind of vets, or they take their team that was almost there and they just start tearing it apart for all these draft picks. And then some of these draft picks hit, some of them don't. And then they get all the way close to getting into this really close top 3 team. And then they do the same thing over and over and over again. They're constantly number 4, number 5. And they look like they're going to be good teams. They just never do the championship. And they're never willing to just sacrifice. And don't be dumb about it. Don't be dumb and just trade all your picks with no money left in the bank, no draft picks left in the bank. So if you do suffer injuries or suffer things, that you can be able to withstand them. So my biggest thing is I've heard it from multiple different sources that 2023, get those picks over 2022. The only reason I will say that you should do that is if you are in desperate need of a ginormous rebuild. Like you are looking and you're going, man, 2023 is going to be the draft where that is going to be where I start competing is in 2023 or 2024, which you're talking about 3 years. Like, oh, that would be so frustrating in Dynasty. I am looking again for 18 months. Like that is the max. I am willing to do whatever I need to do, whether it's buy injured players, buy people on the cheap, make some risky decisions that way, and try to compete that way or try to build my team that way versus just keep trying to, oh, I'm going to get draft picks 2-3 years in advance. Because what's going to happen? This is exactly what's going to happen. 2023 is going to come around, and they're going to talk about the 2025 draft, the 2026 draft. I didn't think Manning's son's on a part of that. And you're going to be like, oh my goodness, should I rebuild for 2025, 2026? Oh, should I do that? And it's just going to be this kind of like, oh my goodness, I want to just constantly try to tear down and rebuild, tear down, because you want this guy, you want the generational talent. You want the Trevor Lawrence in super flexes. You want the Kyle Pittses. You want all these, the Jamar Chases. You want all these great players. And the only way to a lot of times get these assets when they are in their prime mode is, of course, when you draft them, because when you draft them and they hit, it's hard. Like if you're a Justin Jefferson owner, what are your chances of actually acquiring them? It's tough. It is super tough out there. It is not likely happening. So I will likely always, if somebody says 2022 first, 2023 first, I am saying 2022 first at this point. You know what? I understand that the 2023 draft will likely be better. And I'm saying probably a 90% chance it will be better. But I want the asset that is likely to explode first. And I'm more likely to be able to predict what's going to happen with that 2022 team. If I know that team might struggle, and I can kind of dictate or guess where that draft pick is going to lie, there is no chance that you can guess. 2 years, teams that are championship teams can be dust, and teams that are dust can turn into championship teams. And 18 months, that's what you're supposed to do. Teams that had Todd Gurley, Le'Veon Bell, and like all these other players, Odell Beckham, they could have all these amazing players, and now look at them like 2 years later, they're all garbage, and you might not even have a team. So that is just some warnings that I have for you Dynasty owners. And I know that not everyone will agree with that take or agree with this situation. But 2021 draft is over, and I just want to warn people, because I've seen this happen before. I've seen this happen years and years and years, where it's like, oh, we got to wait till 2020, wait till 2020, wait till 2020. And then now we waited till 2020, and guess what people are talking about if they haven't finished the rebuild? 2023. And then 2023 is going to happen, 2026. It just, every couple years, you're going to have these, what they are going to quote, amazing drafts, and they might be. And if you miss out on any of those picks, that is all right, because there's so many other players that can contribute to your team and help you win a championship. Not everyone that won a championship last year had a 2020 draft pick, and not everyone had a 2016 draft pick or 2017 draft pick. And sometimes you got to trade to get to that point. So again, this is Marcus Dynasty Football Dads. Peace out. See you tomorrow. Take care.